Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the mission today. Just as others also join in, we will just do a brief introduction. This is Kanupriya from Peace Village Learning and Retreat Center of the Brahma Kumaris in New York, in USA. So, very warm welcome, and hope that we are all able to hear well. If somebody could please indicate if the voice quality is good, that would be very helpful. And so, um, today we will, um, you know, look at what options we have when life throws challenges at us, when we feel that there are too many hurdles that we have to cross and many obstacles that are coming along our way. How do we deal with them? And we essentially have two options to overcome the hurdle, the obstacle, the challenge that we are facing. And that is the topic for today, which is fly, not why. So, as is obvious, that it is these two options, the flying option and the wine option, that we have when we are faced with challenges. So, of course, option one is to fly, and in a moment we will explain what we mean by flying here. And option two is why. Why is very easy to understand, because that is where we that is what we are doing currently. When any situation or anything that comes in front of us, then our mind fluctuates. When something is wrong, then we keep thinking about it, and then we speak about it. We constantly end up asking this question: why? Why me? Why this? Why that? And we very quickly, almost instantaneously, we put a question mark on the challenge that we are facing. And if we were to understand this a little bit better, just taking a simple example, right? For example, we are walking on a street, and in the middle of the street, there is a big rock, like a boulder, that is blocking the whole street. So, when we are in the why mindset, then we keep asking this question: why is this boulder in front of me? Why on this street that I was walking on? Why not some other street? Why today, when I had to get to some place quickly, why was this boulder suddenly? Why did it come up here? So, these are the kind of questions that we are getting trapped in, as if, and what we are doing in this process of asking this question of why. One is, of course, the boulder is there in this example, that cannot be changed. The situation, external situation, cannot be changed. And by generating such kind of thoughts, we are just delaying the process of finding a solution for that obstacle or challenge. We are not accepting that situation as it is. And this is something that we call waste thoughts. There is a lot of wasteful thoughts which is fit to just put in a waste paper bag and trash it, right? Put it in a dustbin, because we are going into cyclical thoughts about these challenges and not able to have any clarity in this process of questioning. in order to find a solution which is of importance. And so, now with spiritual wisdom, we get an option or a power to transform why into fly. And when the word fly, why comes up, right, we should remember and remind ourselves that that why is not a part of the dictionary anymore, and we have to fly. And as we keep doing this, whenever we observe ourselves asking this question, why, then just finish that why and use the word fly. What does flying really mean? To fly constantly in a like a flying stage, right? It means is it cross, we are able to cross in our minds, we are able to cross the mountain of chaos and upheaval. So it is not that the challenge or the obstacle will change, the nature of that challenge will change. No, but in our mind we have that power to not create any chaos and upheaval. And that happens when we become free of questions. So it is a very nice state to have, very powerful state of the mind when the mind is question free. There is full acceptance of the challenge, of the obstacle, of everything that is happening around us. And then we are in a much better situation to face it, to overcome it, to find a solution. And when many times, we may ask that we have some wasteful thoughts and we are not able to transform them, even though we understand that we should be transforming these wasteful thoughts. It's like, it's there's a stream of thoughts that just we are not able to stop it. So, so what do we do, yeah, in case of such a circumstance when we are observing and we are understanding that I don't want to have these thoughts of why and what and how, but what do we do, right, when we are not able to stop? And the very simple step to transform this question free mind, these questions that are coming from the mind into the flying stage, is the transformation of who we think we are. The moment we start to think and know, we come into this awareness that I am not a body, not the role that I'm playing, but just a soul which is a tiny point of light. So, what happens really when there is awareness that we are a soul, then the tiny point of light, it just means that we are able to distinctly see the role separate from the soul, the soul's existence as totally independent from that of the role. And that finishes all the whys in our mind. It enables us to accept things and all the challenges and the obstacles and the hurdles that we are facing. We are able to accept them, and then the mind becomes as if free to find a solution, to find a way to deal with that situation. And just as we all have seen an obstacle race or a hurdle race, right, where they put hurdles, so it is as if a test. That is another way to look at this obstacle and come into the flying stage. It is just a test for us, an exam for us to test us whether we are able to be stable or not. And we all have the ability to come into the flying stage very quickly. Just that we have to keep practicing this awareness of who we are, seeing the role separate from the soul. The more often we do that, the more our mind becomes stronger, our intellect becomes more powerful and stronger to be stable in situations when obstacles do come in our lives. So, we can have a brief question and answer session also after the meditation. But to practice this, let us now prepare ourselves. And in this meditation, we will choose a sitting posture that is comfortable, and we just relax the body, making sure that the mind is alert. And within a second, we connect with that tiny point of light, the soul who is sitting behind the eyes, in the middle of the forehead, using this body for a temporary period of time. This tiny point of light, the soul, is aware of his life, the true life that is beyond and totally independent from this body and the role that we are playing. And just like a bird flies into the sky, this tiny point of light, the soul, flies to his true home, the world of stars, tiny little sparkling stars. In the backdrop of golden red light, this world of stars is a world of wonder. And the soul, the tiny point of light, feels so free in this vast space that is expansive and comforting at the same time. This tiny point of light, the soul, feels that he belongs here. It has been a long time since he visited the home. All the tiredness and the exhaustion that comes from the physical world, the play that is going on in the physical realm, all that just melts away just with the second of connecting with the true home. This world of light gives immense clarity for this tiny soul. Clarity to see the play as a play. And in the play there are characters. This soul has a character in the play. A role that he's playing in the play. This play is the play of life, the physical life. And in the play, there are tests, obstacles, hurdles. There may be times when somebody is throwing a ball, trying to hit with the ball. Somebody is trying to snatch away the ball from this character in the play. But the soul who is in clarity, connected with the home, that soul has a question-free mind. He does not ask why, what. He's not looking for any logic or fairness, any kind of rationality or justice in the play. He's aware that the play is just a small play for a short period of time. It is temporary in nature. The play is meant for just entertainment. And so all the snatching of the ball and the hitting with the ball and running away with the ball, everything in the play is like an added extra effect to improve the entertainment quality of the play. The the entertainment factor of the play. And the soul who's connected to his true self, watching from the world beyond, watching the play as just a script that is being played out as it is. No questions, no whys, just becoming free and flying with passing colors in the tests. Flying just by not getting trapped in this irrelevant temporary play. Flying to experience the freedom and the independence, which is the birthright of the soul, the point of light. Just knowing that the play has a beginning and an end brings about lightness. And we remind ourselves whenever we get an opportunity that this is a play, and including the role of the self, every other role is just a role, a part of the script in the play, nothing more. So as we go through the day, we see the two options that we have anytime we are faced with any decisions or difficult situations and challenge, hurdle, obstacle. The two options, instead of asking this question, why, we transform this why into fly by coming into the awareness of who we really are, a soul. Thank you, and it is such an amazing thing that with the knowledge of Raj Yoga, we are as if just reawakening our truth, our own truth, which is that of being question free all the time. We are able to experience this sort of freedom and independence of the mind. And once we have that, once we get there, then we are able to overcome anything. There comes a time when we don't see any obstacle as an obstacle, even. It is just fun, it is just a test that we know we can just fly and pass with flying colors. So good. There is a question, so we'll try and answer that. That some trigger comes up and old waste thought patterns come up. What shall we do about it? So, like rightly said, that there are some old triggers and patterns that are there, right? And subconsciously, even without our knowing, when something happens, we don't even realize it, but because something has happened, it automatically comes up, those old patterns of thinking. And just to take a simple example, if somebody scolded me maybe 20 years back, and based on that one scolding and what I felt or experienced at that time, today if I were to meet that person again, I would be very afraid and scared, right? Because I have that memory in my mind. Maybe not actively, sometimes it's not seen. So, what should we do about it? So, this practice that we just did in the meditation, to see that there is a soul which is separate from the role that is being played. So, in the example that I took, the person who scolded me, he's just playing a role that he was supposed to play at that time, but the soul is completely different from the role that he's playing. The soul is worthy of love. The soul is beautiful, point of light, very innocent. The soul cannot be harmed, cannot give me harm also. And to see the role as part of the play that is going on, the script that is going on. So, many times we take this example of the Cinderella play. We all have seen the Cinderella story. There is a stepmother, stepsisters who are acting very nasty with Cinderella, right? But as audience, when we are able to see it as a play only, and when we don't think that we are Cinderella in the play, then we are able to enjoy that play and see the lightness of it, the temporary nature of that play. So we just come into this awareness that we are a soul who's immortal, eternal, and the qualities of the soul are extremely beautiful, peaceful, joyful, loving. To see that for the self and others, and then whatever is happening in the play is a part of a pre-written script that each person is following their role as per their script. I hope that answers the question and clarifies a little bit. All right. So we'll see you again very soon. Hope you have a very good day or evening. Om Shanti. Thank you.